Well, good Saturday morning and greetings once again from Radio Wasteland Records here in Midland. And what a beautiful midwinter Saturday morning it is outside here in the mid-Michigan area. Sun is shining, albeit it's a little chilly out. I think the thermometer said something along the lines of 8 degrees this morning, or as we used to call it in the UP, sweatshirt weather. But chilly nonetheless, but going to be a great, great day outside there. So good morning to you, Mr. Tosh. Happy Saturday, and thank you so much for being here. And let me get my stuff around, and we will get going with the day. So busy week here at the Wasteland last week and coming up into this week as well. We launched the record show on our YouTube channel, which reminds me, if you are watching this on YouTube, please do us a favor, and I think I get it right here. Click that subscribe button and make sure you hit notifications. It's a great way to let us know that you like what we're doing and help spread the word so we can let the channel continue to grow, and we'll see where it takes us from there. So everyone else, let's see here. Chuck saying good morning, and as well, happy Saturday to you. Tyler on the H side, good morning, sir. And Pat Clary is here as well. Good morning to all of you folks, and thank you so much for being here. So yeah, the YouTube show seemed to go off very nicely. Oddly enough, I'm falling back into that video editing bicycle, or getting back onto it, falling off of it, however you want to look at it, and seemed to go okay. I got that put together pretty much last Wednesday, and good thing it was a little slower at the store because I'm a little rusty when it comes to that stuff, but came off without a hitch. If you hadn't had a chance to, please, when we're done with this live this morning, do some exploring on our YouTube channel and check out that. It's called Record Show number 1. And number 2 coming up, we'll have a tease for that. Actually, you know what? We'll just tease that right now. Coming up on Record Show number 2, and we're going to be saying that it's airing, listen to me. It'll be streaming, going active, going live, if you will, on Wednesday night about 7-ish. I'm not going to give you a specific time, but that's why you want notifications on the YouTube page. So coming up on Record Show number 2, I have got a brand new box set. That's an awesome box set that we'll open up and take a closer look at. Was something that was just released yesterday. I'm not going to cover it today, but just a really, really cool music. We'll get into that. We're also going to talk again with Ken Norton from Ingram Entertainment on Wednesday to get the next week's upcoming releases. We'll get into that a little bit and how that helped fuel a demand for one of the new releases this week, a couple of them actually. And finally, on Wednesday, I have discovered a new, and when I say new, I mean new to me. I had no idea that this existed, but digging through the cataloging, when I was going through a box of records, I came across something that was interesting. Digging into, no shameless plug there, they're not a sponsor, but digging into Discogs, I found a new to me genre that is equal parts, well, disturbing and intriguing at the same time. So you'll have to tune in Wednesday for the Record Show number 2 to see what that is. We'll look at that more in depth. So on to this week's new releases. Lynn is here from DIUP. Enjoyed the YouTube spot. Thank you very much, Lynn. Hopefully it is nice and chilly up there this morning. And Mr. Wilkinson, good morning to you too, sir, as well. So speaking of the YouTube show, after we had Ken on and we talked about the Rhino releases, their Start Your Ear Off Right campaign, I seem to have or underestimated rather the demand that the Dire Straits albums were going to have. I thought I had plenty of them to get us through the week, but it turns out not. There was just so many of you, and that's cool, by the way, looking for the Dire Straits album, so much so that we ran out of them yesterday on the day of release. And that's a few, and there was Brothers in Arms, Communique, Love Over Gold, the self-titled was there, Making Movies. They had a big release day for all those Dire Straits reissues from Rhino. And we went through them. Quick correction, too. I think we had mentioned on the Wednesday record show that those were on colored vinyl. Those versions were not. They're just remastered and put together on black vinyl there as well. Andrew says, good morning. Thank you for being here, Andy. So what we do have left from the Start Your Ear Off Right stuff. Oh, by the way, the Dire Straits, I do have more coming on Wednesday or Thursday of next week. So we'll get a hold of those. I'll have them back in. I know there's several orders for especially Brothers in Arms, so I've got more of those coming. If you had wanted one of those Rhino releases of the Dire Straits that came out yesterday, please let me know today, because I'll be putting that order in, and if I can get them, we'll get them. Because as Ken mentioned on Wednesday, once they're gone, Rhino is not going to repress any more of them. So that'll be it for the remainder of that. So, but what we do have left from the Friday drop from Rhino, a couple of Genesis albums. First off being 1976's Trick of the Tail. And this one has been reissued on 180-gram yellow vinyl. This was the first of the Genesis albums to be recorded after Peter Gabriel left the group, the one with Phil Collins taking over the vocals for that. They actually entered the studio to record this album without having a lead singer. And they had auditioned a few people, and finally, as just kind of a last-minute thing, as they started recording, they said, "Hey, Phil, come out from behind those drums and sing on one of these songs so we can get some stuff right on it." And lo and behold, they liked what they heard, and the rest, as they say, is history. Phil Collins took over. So we got, I think I got a couple copies of this one left. But Duke was the other one that came out from Genesis, the reissue from Rhino yesterday. This one is on 180-gram white vinyl. This Duke was from 1980, the 10th album from Genesis. So this would have been the 4th with Phil Collins as lead singer. Good stuff on here, including, Man of Our Times, Misunderstanding, as well as on here, Turn It On Again, Alone Tonight, Please Don't Ask, Duke's Travels, and Duke's End. So some cool early Collins stuff, not early Genesis, but early Collins stuff from them. Of the Rhino variety, we've got a couple left, one left from the Cars. That is on the neon green vinyl, and one left of the Buffalo Springfield from a couple of weeks back, the retrospective best of, and this is on just regular black vinyl as well. Tune in again for the record show on Wednesday. Ken will cover this upcoming week's the Rhino releases, but I believe that they include a whole lot of John Prine in there as well coming up. Lynn answered 12 degrees in the UP this morning. There we go. And Rick saying good morning from a frigid Grand Rapids. Indeed, sir. Welcome. Okay, one of the other new releases kind of got by us on the radar. We've got one copy of this in. This is a double album called Bang. This is the greatest hits. Let me get the ring light out of there. The greatest hits of Frankie Goes to Hollywood. So yes, it's got Relax on there. Two Tribes as well. Ferry Across the Mersey. Warriors of the Wasteland from Frankie Goes to Hollywood. So we've got that in stock. We reviewed this on the first record show coming up. This is the Jeff Tweedy album, the 4th solo from him on clear vinyl. Love is the King. If you're curious about what this album's about, back up and watch the record show number 1 on our channel here when we're done with the live yet today. But interesting album. Quite frankly, I'm still getting used to it. Not bad, but it is, as I mentioned in the review, a little country sounding, but not overtly country. It's a little more, I don't know. It is like some of the Wilco that I've been listening to, a little different and a little more getting used to needed in there. Someone asked about this. Yes, we do have another copy of the Cowboy Bebop from, a few weeks ago, I think. This is the Swordfish 2 and Red Tail edition. Hot commodity on Discogs if you're looking around for that. We've got one of those left in stock. And restocks, we also got some more of the Lumineers. This is the collectible edition with the die-cut cover. So it's some cool stuff on there from the Lumineers. We got another copy of the Fleetwood Mac Best of Peter Green's. So don't go thinking that this is the normal Fleetwood Mac. We've talked about this before. This is the British Blues Fleetwood Mac. Some great stuff from that era. Also, we had an order for this, so we got an extra one, and it finally came in. This is Government Mule doing an album called, it's a live album called Dark Side of the Mule. And it is exactly what it sounds like, a live album where they cover the majority of Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. But there's also some other Floyd cuts they fit into there from Animals. Fearless is on there as well. Shine On You Crazy Diamond. Have a Cigar from Wish You Were Here. And even Wish You Were Here. So cool stuff. I listened to a little bit of this online as a Floyd fan, and they hit it spot on. But if you've already got the Floyd stuff, then you're listening to this. So the Government Mule would be just a little bit interesting as well. Let's see here. We're hearing from Sam this morning. Wilco is cool. It's chill stuff. Good for a morning like this. And Sam, then if you like the chill Wilco, then you will like the chill Jeff Tweedy as well. And Mr. Wilkie, Dino Don from the UP as well. Still waiting on winter. He got a bit of Yooper size, and Don's version of Yooper size is flinging that shovel around. So there we go. Andy says he loves the Mule. Coolness. Okay, onward to the vintage vinyl. There was a bunch. We had a mega drop vintage vinyl yesterday. If you missed that video, that is also up there. 200 plus vintage albums hit the shelves here at the Wasteland, and James the Younger and I worked our butts off to kind of get that out and out to you. So they are there, picked over, but still a lot of great stuff out there. But I wanted to highlight a couple of the more interesting finds that are in there. This is a group called Moxie. And according to the Discogs, it's a highly collectible first album from this group. They are from Toronto, Canada, formed in 1974. Do you know who else formed in 1974 out of the Toronto area? I wonder who. So, and so much so that these guys are also, they released this on the Mercury label, which is the same label that Rush did the US releases on. Obviously, Full Moon was their Canadian, but the US releases of Moxie and Rush are Canadian. Now, interesting fact about these, I was pretty unfamiliar with them. I'd heard of them before, but never really dove into them. They are a hard rock group, a la Rush, but not the same as Rush. Research on this, their biggest hit was a tune called Can't You See I'm a Star. And these guys hit so big in 74 through 77 that finally by the time they got to 77, they started getting bigger in the Midwest, again, like Rush, Cleveland, Detroit, Chicago, in Windsor, in that area. But they hit it big, and finally in 77, they headlined their first show. And get this, that first headline, AC/DC, was Moxie's opening act on there as well. Sam says April Wine. Oh, April Wine. April Wine-ish, I guess, is a good, but these guys are a little bit more in line with Triumph, I would think, or a Max Webster, also of that era, also of that lineage from the Ontario and Canada area, Canada as well. Different than Rush, but still a little bit of similar to that, but hard rocking stuff, I guess you could say, especially if AC/DC was kicking on there as well. And also formed in 74. Cool. Joe Pesh saying good morning as well, sir. And Joe, whoops. Mike Reno was in a later, yes, the later versions of Moxie. They broke up in 77. I had seen on this, and they reformed a couple of separate times in there. So Mike Reno did kick into one of those latter versions, but this is the original lineup. So we've got a copy of this. Again, highly collectible. Actually, I think I've got a couple copies of this as well as their follow-up, Moxie 2. They needed some help, I think, on the naming of their albums, but great stuff nonetheless. Okay, other highlights. Let me look at our time. We're running short. We've got a Edgar Allan Poe, The Mystery and Imagination of Edgar Allan Poe from the Alan Parsons Project. These are the Parsons Project takes on a lot of the writings of Edgar Allan Poe. Some cool stuff in there. And finally, today, I wanted to show this off. This kind of snuck by us in there. This is an album called Beatlemania from 1964. Now, before you get too excited about this, this is, as my note says, not the Beatles. We've seen a couple of these come through, and the Beatles hit so big and so fast in 1964 and a little bit beyond that they spurred not only a lot of fake the bootleg versions of their albums, but a lot of knockoff groups that tried to play off on that popularity. This is one. This is a group called the Liverpools, and they actually are singing Beatles songs. I doubt they paid royalties or got the rights to do that, but I did not listen to this, but I would assume that they're doing their best to sound like the Beatles and capitalize upon that Beatlemania craze going on in the mid-60s, both in the UK and here in the States. So not a must, but could be a cool oddity for you Beatles fans to have that in your collection. So again, I think we're set to kick our day into gear. And I'm looking here, and I need to hear, for those of you curious, yes, the hair is going a little crazy. There's what the back looks like. It's going to get trimmed down here pretty soon. We'll have to kind of wait and see. But stop by and see us here at the store. We are open today from, now until 6 p.m. this evening. Open tomorrow, Sunday, from 12 noon until 5 p.m. We're located just a bit north of downtown Midland, a few blocks thereabouts at 716 George Street. Look us up online and we can find it. Yeah. Pat asks if we've got a copy of the Ruttles. No, sir, we do not have any Ruttles in right now. I think I've got one in the personal collection, though. So stop by and see us. We'll be here kind of spinning around. I might put that Moxie album on and give it a good once over, and we'll see what goes. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click that little subscribe button down in the lower side. Andrew chiming in one more comment. A party in the back. Yes, sir. So hit that subscribe button and give us a like. Give us a share if you would. I've got some big plans for the record show moving forward, including lots of great special guests. So tune in again for that at Wednesday, 7 p.m.-ish. We'll have the second version up there. Again, don't forget, record show number 2 coming up. I'm opening up a box set that is just way cool. At least I think so as well. We're going to talk with Ken Norton one more time. And there's this new strange genre of music that I tripped across that we will cover as well. So you guys have a great, great Saturday, a great rest of weekend. Get out and enjoy the weather, but put on a coat if you do so. Swing on by the Wasteland and do some quality crate digging. And we will talk to you all next time from Radio Wasteland Records here in Midland. Thank you all so much for being here.